Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Welcome to week 2 of my Stamp Happy Holidays series. Today I thought we would make a quick and easy treat holder. This little pouch goes together in no time, and I call it a fold and tie treat pouch. Now this is not my original idea. I got this idea a couple years back, and I did not write down the website, but I do know the person who came up with it is In the Pink Designs. So I want to thank In the Pink Designs for this idea for this little treat pouch. Now I've made one for Halloween, and it's a pretty good sized treat pouch. I think these would be neat if you have trick-or-treaters, you know, some of your favorite trick-or-treaters. Just make a bunch of these and put a couple of pieces of candy in there. As you can see, the smaller candy bars fit in there just fine. And then I made this one for fall or for Thanksgiving, and I have a little Ghirardelli, and actually a couple of them would fit in there. I just put one in. And then here's a Christmas version, and again, I have a Ghirardelli in there. And one for New Year's. As I said, you can make these for any occasion that you like. And the other thing that you might, if you don't want to put candy in there, they are good for a gift card. Fits in there just really nicely. And you can also add, if you wanted to, let me get this open here, a candy as well. So it could double as a gift card holder. So I'll put this candy back in here. And I think these would be cute if you made several and you could put them in a little basket and maybe sit them at your door to hand out, or put the little basket on your counter, and when friends come by for a get-together, there could be something you could offer. Also, I think they would be nice to hand out maybe in your workplace, just a nice little treat for your coworkers, or for at school for, you know, teachers, or if you have classroom parties or that kind of thing, that would be good. And also they make nice, what I call table favors for like Thanksgiving or Christmas. If you have a sit-down meal, you can just, they do stand up, and you could put these, you know, at the place setting. Well, they usually stand up. This one is not cooperating. There it goes. Like I said, they do stand up. So I thought that would be kind of a neat thing to have at each place setting, just a little favor. So like I said, these are basically, I call it cut and tie, because that is pretty much what you do. Yes, you will need some adhesive for the pattern paper and maybe a dimensional or something to put on a greeting if you have that. You can, like I said here, I've stamped the greetings and made those like the focal point right here. And here I've used die cuts to kind of, for embellishments actually. But let's talk about how we can make these, because this is also a good project to use your scraps. So we'll put those over there. And here's what we're going to need. We're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 7 1/4 by 3 inches. Now I had a lot of scraps in my cardstock scraps that were approximately that length. Why? I don't know. I just had them. So it was nice to be able to use those. But then you will be needing some pattern paper. And these pieces are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Let me check my notes just to be sure. Yes, by 3 3/4. And one, you will need one. The second one is optional. And what that's for, one goes here, and then the other one can go on the back of your holder if you want to cover up that ribbon. The ribbon doesn't really bother me, and I don't know, this might make it a little more sturdy and it might stand up a little better, but I just didn't think it was necessary. However, I can see the utility of it to cover up that ribbon and kind of keep everything in place. So 1 or 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. and then one piece that is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then this little itty bitty piece, it's 2 3/4 by 1/2. And then whatever embellishments you want, and some ribbon, somewhere between 12 and 15 inches. I think this piece is about 14 inches. Just depends on how you tie. And also, I found sometimes the wider ribbon, it might take a little bit more to tie it and get that bow. So anyway, with this, we're going to score it. And we're going to score at 4 inches, 4 1/2 inches, and 6 1/2 inches. And then we're going to, on this left side, this longer piece, the first score line is going to be a mountain fold. And we're going to use our bone folder to really crease that really well. The next one, the 4 1/2 inch score line, is also a mountain fold. And you do want to crease that really well. So there, that makes the bottom. And now we come to the 6 1/2 inch score line and fold that back. It's a valley fold. And there is the basic setup for our treat holder, right like that. Now, if you have corner punches and you want to round the corners, this is when you should do that. On this one, I used a different punch to kind of angle the corners. So, you know, whatever you have, if you have a fancy punch, whatever you would like to do to the corners, this is when you would do that. And I'm just going to use a corner rounder. And you do all 4 corners. And these little corners here. Oops, that one didn't exactly cut 100% correctly. Let's try that one again. That's a little better. There we go. Get those out of the way. And now for these. This one I didn't round the corners on any because it's going to be hidden. It goes right here. So that's not a worry. For these, I'll round those corners. Let me get a piece of paper here so I can catch all those little scraps and get them off of here more easily. Just the top 2 right there. That's all you need to round off. And then this, of course, this piece is for the back. And then this little bitty piece, you need to round off 2 of them. And this is not all that easy. Did you see that slip through? It slipped all the way through my punch. Well, let's try it this way. But then that's going to round off the wrong, flip it. It's still slipping through, oh my goodness. I was not intending on having that much trouble. That's funny. Okay, we may just pretend that is rounded. That's funny, the first time around it caught. There we go. Oh, I got it. Okay. There we go with that one. And I still have all these little scraps right here. Okay, now we can put this together. And we'll get our silicone mat so we won't get adhesive everywhere. And this goes right here. We just line it up, leave a nice little border. There we go. And then we can't put this one on until we get the ribbon on. And this goes right here. Just like that. And then this piece, of course, will go right here. And we have our little gingerbread men, but first we need to do the ribbon. Just going to bring it around. And we're going to tie it to one side. It can be the left or the right. I always tend to tie it to the right side. I'm just going to tie a little bow. Over to the side. There we go. Get it to where you like it. And then we're going to, you can put a couple of glue dots here, which is what I had put on my on the blog post. But right now I think I'm just going to put a little bit of this adhesive just to hold this down, hold it in place. And then we're going to take a bone folder and just kind of run it under here a little bit. Just kind of make some room for those, makes a nice little curve, makes room for you to slide your candies down in there. And we can, so we have our ribbon in place. We can now put this back panel in place. And remember, this is optional. And just get all this, leave that nice little border. There we go. And then we have our little gingerbread men. Put this one right here. And I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals. And there we go. It's a nice little treat pouch right there. It should sit up. Doesn't want to today. I think it helps when it has something in it. So there's that. And it's quick and easy. It's really cute. And I think you could come up with all kinds of other things to put in there besides candy or gift cards. But that is the Fold and Tie treat pouch. Like I say, I've made one here for Halloween and for fall, for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and then another cute little Christmas one. Now, all the measurements and directions for these treat pouches will be found on my corresponding blog post, and the link to that blog post is found in the description of this video. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, stamp happy.